Let's talk a little bit about indices or powers. This is from the math book, Text and Tests, page 34 to 36. When we have something like this, let's say 2 times 2 times 2. It's not that hard to write out. But if we have 2 times 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 2, it takes a long time to just write it out. So if we have the same number times itself a number of times, we came up with another way of writing this. So we can write this as 2 index and the number of times. We have this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is just another way of writing this, but this is what it means. We always have to remember that. Okay, so for example, if we look at this example, we have 3 index 6 over 3 index 2. So remember that we can write this as, of course, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So we have 6 times. And then over 3 times 2, which we can write as 3 times 3. So if we have one number here and one number here, the same number, and it's all multiplication, we can cross out one number here, one number here. And one number here, doesn't matter which one. Let's take this one and this one. And left we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which we can write as 3 index 4. So it turns out that we can find this rule when we're dividing with indices. In this example, 3 index 6 over 3 index 2. We have to have the same number here as we have here. We just take these numbers. So first 3, and then we take the 6 minus this number 2 minus the indices. 6 minus 2 is 4. 3 index 4. So we don't have to do all this work every time to get the answer. So we can just do it like this, and the answer is 3 index 4. Okay. So let's move on. So here they have an example. Write each of these as a single number in index form. Okay, so let's look at these examples. We have 3 index 2 times 3 index 4. Remember that 3 index 2 is 3 times 3, and then we have multiplication. That's this one, and then we have 3 index 4, which is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And we can rewrite this as 3 index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Index 6. So it turns out that we can, when we're multiplying indices, 3 index 2 times 3 index 4, we can just add these numbers. So 2 plus 4 is 6. And we always remember this number has to be the same. Otherwise it won't work. So this number has to be the same, always. Okay. So multiplication, we just add these numbers. And remember, okay, now it's gone. But when we did division, over here, we just take 6 minus 2 is 4. So when division, it's this minus this. When we do multiplication here, it's this plus this. Okay? So let's go back to this one. Here we can look at some examples. Evaluate each of these. 4 times 2 index 2. We can just do bit math, basically. First do indices, so 4 remains same. Then 2 index 2 is 4, which is 16. That one was easy. How about number 9? 5 index 2 plus 2 index 2 times 3 is the same thing as we do the indices. 5 index 2 is 25. 2 index 2 is 4. This remains the same. Then 25 plus, do the multiplication, 4 times 3 is 12. And we have the answer 37. Okay, how about simplifying each of these and express your answers as a whole number? Let's do this one. 4 index 2 times 4 index 5 divided by 4 index 4. So first we calculate this. Remember multiplication, so it's this plus this. We can write it as 4. 2 plus 5 is 7. And then we had division. Same number here as here. So we take this little number minus this number. So we have 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. And this is, of course, 4 times 4 times 4. And that's 64. Oops. Which is the answer. And here we're going the other way, backwards. Express each of these as a single number to a power. For example, number 4, 1000 is the same thing as 10 index 3. 125 is the same thing as 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. So 5 index 3.